Welcome to Kusa Cast, where we interview some of the most influential people in tourism from around the world. My name is Graeme Watson, and I'm the founder of Kusa Global. The word Kusa means a new dawn, and in 2023, we want to find out just how our guests are working towards that new dawn. Join us and subscribe to future episodes as we hope to inspire you with stories of strength and resilience in the tourism industry. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another edition of Kusa Cast. Today, very privileged to have Priscilla Plummer as my guest, and we are being joined by Gloria from Zambia and also Indlelendle, wonderful people that Priscilla works with. So welcome, Priscilla, and the rest of the team.
Happy to be here.
Great, thanks so much. And so, Priscilla, as I explained earlier, we just run through exactly what it is that you do, and just tell the listeners everything about Global Sojourns and the Global Sojourns Giving Circle. That'd be wonderful.
Well, Global Sojourns is specializes in responsible travel and here in Africa, and we've been doing that since the 90s. And the Giving Circle is our arm that is about upliftment of communities around wildlife areas and those of natural attractions. And we can help go on the journey of how one got started and the other one came along, and they're interwoven.
Great. And you're originally from the USA, I take it?
Yes. So I started out many years ago in the United States working with small and startup businesses, primarily in sports and publishing. And I've always had a passion for travel and culture.
Yeah.
But it was one of my jobs there where I was the publisher of the only national women's sports magazine started by Billie Jean King.
Oh, wow.
And I became aware of how privileged I was as a woman to have had so many women before me do so much for me to have so many opportunities.
Yeah.
And that mixed with an increasing awareness of income inequities in the world, I ended up leaving behind New York and San Francisco and all that work and got on a plane to Africa, starting out in Kenya, to better understand the situation that girls and women face in this area and how I might be able to help others as women before me helped me. And thus the journey began. And so before Global Sojourns came some years of researching women's lives, living 3 years in northern Mozambique, just sitting and listening and going back to graduate school and women in development. And I feel so blessed to have gotten so much time from women over a number of years sharing their stories.
Yeah. And
then I ended up in Zimbabwe, and I was thinking, how best can I help this part of the world that had become so special to me? And, Zimbabwe's a pretty enticing country in its beauty and all it has, the people, the hospitality and the wildlife. And I ended up starting the travel company, Global Sojourns. And that was back in the 90s with the idea of helping Westerners come and go on safari in a manner that was where they were going deeper. So we really set them up with guides. The Zimbabwean guides are pretty amazing. And the idea was that, what mattered first was who the guide was more than what the camp was like. And then the clients started, as they got more exposed to communities around the wildlife areas, and they started talking more about the issues of poverty and asking how they could help. And at that time, we had no intention of starting an NGO. We kind of felt like, there were a lot out there, but we weren't finding ones that had a lot of the tenets that we really believed in, which is local people leading the way. So in time back in, after a lot of digging in, a lot of thought, drawing on our experience, the academic, the field work, we started the Global Sojourns Giving Circle. And the focus is on empowering girls. It's about being locally led, and it's about donor education, because I think, as you know, a lot of good intentions, can sometimes go array. And so it's always learning. And so here we are today, many years later, and we've been step by step going in and figuring out a model. And and it's a wonderful blend now of the travel, being able to customize trips for our clients to come and experience the amazing safari experiences offered by so many wonderful suppliers today who share in the importance of responsible tourism, and then also know that we're supporting these communities, because we won't be able to have the wildlife if the communities aren't healthy, and because it's Africa's time. It's the right thing to do. So I'd love for you to, we've got Gloria in Livingston, who we're kind of an urban area, and Leila, who is in Dete, right on the border of Hwenge, and their experiences of what it is to mentor youth in these areas, and the blend with tourism.
Oh, well, thanks, Priscilla. That's such a great thing that you've been doing for many, many years, and the tourism industry, it thrives, because of people like yourself. So thank you so much, and everything that you're doing. Upliftment of communities around the game reserves is extremely important, because I've heard stories of people that live around the game reserves, and they hear a lion roar every night and elephants, but they've never seen them in person. So that's the thing. So we need to just empower those communities around the reserves to show them the importance of what they're doing. But Gloria, welcome to the podcast, and we'd love to hear from you and how you're getting along in the beautiful Livingston area that most of us know so well. So welcome, Gloria. Keen to hear what you have to say.
Thank you so much. So my name is Gloria Movita from Livingston, the tourist capital of Zambia.
Yes.
Being in a tourist capital, it's I would say it's adventurous, and there are certain areas where you get used to see animals like elephants. So it's our day-to-day way of life in some areas, in some parts of Livingston. And I am running a girls club. I'm running 3 clubs right now. So I started working with Global Sojourns Giving Circles in 2014, somewhere there. So working with the girls, it has been an exciting journey so far. And just seeing how we have developed as mentors, as Global Sojourns Giving Circles from 2014 till date, we're able to see there is some growth happening. There are a lot of things that we have developed. There are a lot of clubs coming in. So we have boys clubs in some areas. We have a lot of girls clubs. So in my club, I have about 90 girls who are actively in the girls club with different issues. And the name of the club, it's called Believe Girls Foundation. So our main focus is to educate a girl child to see to it that a girl child completes school with good grades. So how do we achieve that, to see to it that a girl child completes school with good grades? We came up with a mini library, which we have. So a mini library consists of reproductive health books, psychology books, and it also consists of educational books. It also consists of simple things like a pen, a pencil, some books which a girl wants to use, a calculator, some marker. So anything that a girl requires to use at school, we have that in our resource center. So the other thing that we also concentrate on menstrual hygiene management. As we know, each and every girl struggles when on monthly basis. So we provide some pads, sanitary towels for them. So when they come to the resource center, we have sanitary towels for the girls. We have educational books, and we also have activities for exposure and working with the community. And now we have a podcast, which I'm working on, trying to see how it's going to develop. I'm still learning. So it's a journey that keeps on improving. And now I have a podcast for the Global Sojourns Giving Circles, and the girls, they have a podcast for the Believe Girls Foundation. So the girls who are running the podcast for the foundation, it's the girls who completed with the alumni. So they have come back to the club and they have a podcast. So our main focus at the foundation is just to focus on psychosocial life skills for the girls, and to see to it that a girl completes school with good grades and without getting pregnant. Because now we have alarming numbers of girls becoming pregnant at a tender age, more especially the adolescent. So it's something that is alarming, and it's a wake-up call that these girls, they need more of these clubs. So working in the tourist capital, it has been challenging because most girls and boys are exposed to a lot of things: drug abuse, drug and substance abuse, a lot of girls getting pregnant at a tender age. But having these clubs, it has helped them. You can imagine from 2014 until date, which is 2023, we only recorded 2 pregnancies in our club. And these girls who got pregnant, they went back to school. One is doing nursing and the other one is doing teaching. So like that, we are able to break the cycle of poverty. So from 2024 to 2023, we only recorded 2 cases of teen pregnancy in our club. Despite recording that, the girls are still doing something productive in life, meaning we have managed to break the cycle of poverty, one girl at a time. Yes.
Well, that's great. Yeah. I mean, I think that's what it needs to. It's, a lot of people think the journey is too long, but if you just break it down, as you say, into one girl at a time, then it doesn't become so overwhelming.
Yes. Yeah. So it's one girl at a time, and that girl will reach out to another girl, and the other girl will reach out to that other girl. And it's a circle at the end of the day.
Oh, that's lovely. So how does the funding come? Where does the funding come from?
So right now, not right now, from 2014, ever since I started working with the girls clubs, we receive funding from Global Sojourns Giving Circles. And now what is happening is that the clubs, they're increasing. And as we are talking right now, I have a waiting list of girls who want to join. And with Global Sojourns Giving Circles, the condition is you need to have 15 girls in a club so that you can connect with these girls, so that you can build a certain relationship with these girls. It's not about the numbers, like reaching out to a certain target of girls, but it's about changing one girl's life. It's about the main objective that we have, the breaking of the circle of poverty. So our main funding right now, it has come from Global Sojourns Giving Circles, which consists of people who are able to help girls and boys in Africa, and their help has been overwhelming, such that we have demand of a lot of girls who want to join. So since we have almost each and every club has a waiting list, meaning we need that dollar to come to help a girl in Africa. It's a need. Right now, I think it's a need. We need that dollar to help that girl in Africa. It's one girl at a time, and we need that dollar. So Global Sojourns Giving Circles right now, it needs that help because it has a waiting list. You can imagine one club has about 30 girls who are on the waiting list. I cannot allow them to join right now because other girls are still in the club. So I need to allow those who are in the club to go, and now that I can allow them. But if funding was allowing, we had enough, meaning I would have reached out to more girls. But still, these girls are still waiting. And the funny thing is that next year, they'll come at the resource center and knock on the door and say, Auntie Gloria, last year you told me that I need to wait for a year. I've come to hire up space in the club. So almost each and every club, which is under Global Sojourns Giving Circle, they have a waiting list. So
wow.
We receive funding. Yeah, we have been receiving funding from Global Sojourns Giving Circles.
So does Priscilla, do everybody that goes on a Global Sojourn contribute to the Giving Circle as well?
We give them the option because we don't, of course, anything I make so much plows back in, but that's a small portion. We've been really blessed to have clients who really care about conservation and care about issues. And so they choose to give. And because we're seeing such impact, we have very stringent monitoring and evaluation, and we do so much reporting out. And so we've been very blessed to have that, but we're a small company. So the word only goes out to so many, but we were very blessed that during COVID, when a lot of other travel companies were dependent on monies that were coming through from travelers to support projects, and then they went down in funding, ours did not. Our clubs were stronger than ever because of people like Gloria and Ndolande being pillars in their communities. And so our work carried on. While the travel business may have been down, our work grew in impact. And that was really exciting. But what she's saying is after all these years, we've come with a model that is having such impact that every single club in Zambia and Zimbabwe has a waiting list. And so now it's way beyond what our small company, and travelers could support. So we do want to get the word out to, if anyone's looking for this kind of community upliftment and systemic change, real change, locally led, come and talk to us.
Great. Well, let's hear from Ndolande then. Welcome to the podcast, and looking forward to hearing what you've got to say.
Thank you so much, Graeme. I really appreciate the opportunity. So, like said, my name is Ndolande. I'm from Zimbabwe, and I live in one of the best places in the world, the Hwange, in the borders of Hwange National Park. The guys that you heard about, that we hear the lions roaring and elephants trumpeting, I'm also one of those guys. So we are just a stone throw away from the national park. But however, like you were saying, that we do not have that opportunity to appreciate wildlife as we should be. So because of that and the challenges that we face sharing the borders with wildlife, so we started an organization called Chikobane Trust, and the whole idea is to promote peaceful coexistence between wildlife and rural communities sharing borders with these wildlife. And we met wonderful people, Priscilla, through the GSGC Giving Circle and the GSGC network, where their approach to tourism, when they bring travelers to our area, is not only centered on tourist activities like what we see happening, but they bring the tourists down to the communities. At one time, it was talk of the town in our area when the GSGC travelers literally came to our community and they had a talk like, what's happening? Who are these people? And the way to go around, these are travelers, they are coming to see the wildlife. And, this improves or grows the confidence of people around the community that surely we really need to take care of this wildlife that is here. So when people hear that these travelers are from the United States, they are from Europe, and they are here to see the elephants. That says that maybe we really need, as communities around wildlife, we really need to care for these elephants, so that we keep on having these tourists coming to our I run boys club. We also have a girls club, but we are running a boys club. We have a number of 30 young boys that we mentor. So what happens is, the tourism sector is a sector that needs skills. We need the chefs, we need the waiters. Kobane Boys Club mentor or expose our young boys and girls to the opportunities that are around tourism, the opportunities that are around wildlife conservation, the skills that are needed, so that we try to guide them on their career path, so that they take conservation. They know that conservation really pays. They know that, so that what we are doing and helping our boys and girls in our clubs to precious resource that we have around us. So it's been a great time with Priscilla in the Global Sojourns, and it really helping our community, and it also helps to look at wildlife, instead of looking at wildlife as a problem, but as a source that can bring tourists or travelers to our area. In the process, our areas, they grow. In the process, we get an income. So it's been a quiet journey that I really appreciate working with the GSGC.
Well, that's great. I mean, I think that the lesson there is that more educated children are, mean less poachers as adults. So that's what I think as well. The more we educate the youth, the fewer poachers there'll be as they grow older. So let's. I mean, what wonderful work you guys are doing. So I mean, congrats, Priscilla, with everything.
Well, this doesn't happen overnight, and I think that's what we need to appreciate. One, local people have the knowledge and just need opportunity and support, and two, things like this take time. But what's happened is we took time and we got deep roots. We got trust. We all grew in developing this model, and now it's just taken off, and it's the ripple effect is tremendous. But one of the things I wanted to bring up, one of the safari guides in Hwenge, who's also one of our mentors, because our focus really is on mentorship and helping these youth get on a path of a life of opportunity versus dependency. And as a safari guide, he said, how can our communities, how can our youth ever be expected to care for the wildlife, to preserve the wildlife, if they feel their own lives don't matter? And so that's where we start. And to help somebody see that their life matters, it's not done overnight. But when you invest in that, all of us can attest the results are tremendous. We're now seeing so many first in families. We just got a result that of all the kids in our clubs, across both countries, 87% were the first in their family not to get pregnant as a teenager. Gosh. And it's just, but it takes one thing. We have 9 tenants for each of the clubs, or the clubs. They've all come up with it. They've created the model. We're just there helping them have the opportunity to serve their communities. And but the key to it is mentorship, which is I see you, I hear you, I believe in you. And a lot of these kids have not had somebody slow down and provide a safe space and see them and help them see their gifts, help them become aware of the pathways that they can go on, the opportunities they can have in life, and who walk beside them. And as Gloria was saying, once you do it with one child, and then somebody else in the neighborhood goes, oh, gosh, look at her. She was able to do that. And then they start to believe they can also. And that's really exciting.
Yeah, I mean, the world needs more people like yourself. So thank you very much for everything you're doing, Priscilla. I hope I can meet you in person one of these days. You're based in Cape Town, are you not?
I am. I'm based in Cape Town. I spend a lot of time up here. I'm in Big Falls right now, and
Okay, great.
and most of our clients are from the U.S.
Well, I've got a lot of people who may be listening that are based in Cape Town and Victoria Falls and Livingston. So if you want to reach out to Priscilla, I will put the contact details in the text of the podcast. But if you could just run through maybe, Priscilla, how people can contact you and contribute if they would like to.
Well, for any travelers, it's globalsojourns.com. And then for anyone who wants to support this kind of work, it's gsgivingcircle.org. Mm-hmm. And you can also listen to Gloria on her GSGC Talk Time podcast, which is on Spotify.
Great.
And I think another few other places. We're just, we look, and then we also have Instagram and Facebook for both the Global Sojourns Giving Circle and Global Sojourns. But we're all about responsible tourism, celebrating what others in the industry are doing. We have wonderful partners, running the safari camps and doing meaningful work. And I think it's about collaboration, and we're a good fit for those who care about deep work and investing in local people to lead the way.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, I mean, thank you so much for joining us today on Kusa Cast, and I'll definitely put the links to Gloria's podcast, and I'll definitely be subscribing to that the moment we finish off here. So,
and
Gloria,
also check out Tikobani. Tikobani has a wonderful Facebook, and I think Believe Club does. So there's lots of ways to get to know these guys.
Well, perfect. So then what you can do is just send me all the links, and I'll put that in the description. So for the listeners listening now, just go into the description of the podcast, and you'll find all the links there. So that's great. I mean, any last words, guys, before we clock off for the evening?
So for the travelers who always travel to come to our countries, either Zambia, Zimbabwe, and those travelers which I've seen before who come under the Global Sojourn, I would say it has been a great pleasure, because from meeting the same travelers, we are able to get people who are able to fund for these girls. So meeting the travelers who understand when they come here, they understand our way of life. They have respect for humanity. As a result, we create a certain friendly environment with them. And that's the reason why the Believe Girls Foundation and the Global Sojourns Giving Circles still exist, because some of the donors which we have, they come from the travelers. So if not for them to travel and meet the girls clubs or the boys clubs in our two countries, they wouldn't have known about us. Or if they didn't communicate to Priscilla, they wouldn't have known about the works which we do. So our work is growing each and every day. We are improving on how best we can help a girl child and a boy child in Africa. For those who are already our donors, we say thank you so much. And keep in mind that each and every dollar that you have put, it has helped a lot of girls, and it has helped one girl at a time. And at this time, we still need more people to come on board, because the clubs are growing, and we have a huge number of waiting list of girls and boys wanting to join. So it all depends with you, our dear listeners, to help us to put $1 to help one girl, one boy at a time. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks, Gloria.
Yeah, I'm really grateful what's happening in the industry now. And I think what you're doing with the podcast is real helpful. We're at a really critical time out there, with pressures coming on communities and the wild spaces and with climate. And I think the more that we share, we're happy to share lessons learned. And I also would love to see more webinars where more of us doing this kind of work come together and share. And we really want to support one another because there's so many ways in on conservation that are needed, and there's so many things that helps with upliftment. We happen to have this way, and it's going in deep, and we appreciate the other things being done. And the more that you can connect us and bring us together, the future looks bright.
It absolutely does, Priscilla, and that's the whole point of the Kusa Cast. Kusa, for many of the listeners, it means a new dawn, a new beginning, and that's where we're going with this. It's been a terrible 3 years, but I think everybody's kind of racing towards the sun and coming through that long tunnel, and it's all about helping each other, and we just need to stick together. So thank you, Priscilla. Thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Nlelende. And we will hopefully meet you in person soon. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for tuning into Kusa Cast, where we explore the world of tourism with leaders from all corners of the globe. Join me, Graeme Watson, for future episodes as we dive into the latest trends and insights from the industry. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating, and we'll see you next time on Kusa Cast.